So I've got 9 poses to share with you in this video, and I think it's best we start with a little bit of a warm-up of the wrist and the shoulders and the legs. So as I've told you, just rocking back and forward, getting your fingers to dance a little bit on your mat, rolling them from side to side. And even for a warm-up, it's often just when you get started is when the injury happens. So it's important to always just get yourself ready to do some work. Well, it's not going to be hard work, but we're going to be moving. And I guess while we do this warm-up, I just want to touch on the front body stretches again. So while stretching the front body at the myofascial chain, again, it's like from the chin all the way through. The myofascia is the skin. There's a liquid sac underneath the skin before the muscles, then all of the muscles down your legs and shins even. This is the top priority for these stretches. Bending the back or the spine, however, it's still important, and it happens throughout these stretches. We can't avoid it. And we don't want to avoid it because it can be really a beautiful feeling when we do it right. However, it is crucial for the health and safety of our spinal joints and our spinal cord that we ensure that we engage the front body correctly to provide a safe environment for our spinal cord to naturally lengthen. And you never want to go, it's something that you just would never want to go too fast into. So we'll take it nice and slow. Just making sure that you're all warmed up. And me too. I definitely don't want to get an injury. Make it for a bit of a slow going procedure to get this course recorded. Something else that we can, I guess, first intention, front body. The front of the body, just having a nice healthy stretch through the front. Second, and it's a byproduct of engaging the front body correctly, is a healthy extension through the spine. And then third will be maximizing the breath. So getting a full breath in, and as we exhale, we soften and we lighten. And it allows us to get deeper into the poses. So I'll demonstrate the first upward body. I'll demonstrate the first front body stretch. You don't have to follow this one as we've done it already. However, the chaturanga is a front body stretch. So a modified chaturanga would be knees down, and I'm lifting through the chest. I'm not dumping into the back and spine. It's more of a forward and up movement of the chest. And so I can feel this from my toes through the top of my feet to my tibialis, I think that's it, into the quads, up to my pelvis and the front of my waist. My hip flexors even get a stretch there, lower abdominals, obliques, and then right up into the sternum and chest, up into the upper chest, into the traps, and also into the neck. So an upward facing dog hits the whole front body. And then naturally, off this movement of pushing forward and up, the spine just naturally lengthens. There's no cranking back at all. So upward facing dog, number 1. Number 2 is a low lunge. So I'm going to swap the feet. Left foot forward, and you would begin by stacking the knee over the ankle. Back foot's firmly planted, pressing into the ground. And I can be right here in this pose, and if I push that back foot down, I can start to feel the stretch in my quad, up into the front of my hips, and it's a really nice stretch already. I don't need to go forward. So I suggest starting here and seeing how that feels for you. And then you can rock around as well and just see how the stretch intensifies as you move. The hand can also go up, which is another variation, and that's Anjaneyasana. I'm not sure what the English name is for that, so sorry about that, but Anjaneyasana. And so this also, with the arm up, I can feel a light stretch into my abs, up into my chest, and it also provides a nice side body stretch here as well in the torso. And then as I pull my chest forward and up, a natural extension in the spine occurs. So facing forward, so to give you a demonstration this way. Your knees are in parallel. There's a healthy distance. It's just kind of hip width between your front foot and your back knee. Hand can go up. Front, you can have your back foot planted flat on the ground. And this is a low lunge. So low lunge, Anjaneyasana. And that's a really nice one to warm up. So you'll often experience a low lunge in the beginning of a video, at the beginning of a flow. So pose number 2. And coming around for a high lunge. So this is also a good modification for the high lunge, is to drop down into a low lunge. A high lunge is here. So back heel's off the ground, toes are firmly planted, all 5 toes just cupping the mat at the back. Your front left toes cupping the front of the mat, and it's like I'm pushing off, about to start running. And you'll notice that this stretch intensifies by coming up into a high lunge. So you can also have your hands high as well for the high lunge, or they can be down here. You might feel a little bit in your left hamstring with this one as well. Totally normal. As I said, the poses can go across categories. It's not just purely one-dimensional. So yeah, you'll feel a little bit in your left. And if you were to stay here for another minute or 30 seconds, you might begin to shake because it can be quite intense. So high lunge. And as you progress and get more flexible, your high lunge will start to go deeper. And even you'll notice, like as I'm coming down, my chest is going forward and up. So creating a nice, healthy extension in the spine. High lunge to the front. Just play around with your feet position. It's like you might need it a little bit closer in to start, a little bit further out. See what works for you. And arms straight up. Not crunching the shoulders into the ears. Just a comfortable distance. And there's your high lunge. So, Warrior 1. Very similar to the high lunge. Facing the top of your mat. And this is the high lunge. If you watch my back right foot, it rotates and the heel touches the ground and the toes face out. Now find what works for you. Your toes might be a bit more parallel to the back of your mat, and eventually you want to work it around so they've got a nice angle. And you'll feel this stretch coming through your chest, abdomen, again, front hip, down in your hip flexor might be getting a little bit of a workout here, your quad, and you might even feel some in your shin as well. So this is Warrior 1. High lunge with the toes, your heel off the ground, the heel comes down, and you might need to open your stance up a little bit to give you a bit more stability. That's totally fine. You don't want to be on you don't want to be on a track and, you know, trying to balance. You have both feet and you can use them in this pose to get a really strong, stable pose. So that's warrior one. Continuing on, take a break. So if you're following along, it can be a bit, moving from low lunge, high lunge to warrior one. Give your legs a little bit of a shake out. Now, taking up the same position as the warrior one, we're going to do warrior two. And that's simply opening up with your arms, same feet position, but you're opening up to the side of your mat. Now this will change what you're feeling in the stretch on your right side, and it'll start to shift it across to the front of your body, and you'll be feeling it more in your left side front body. And so this is not hugely intense for a front body stretch, but I needed to demonstrate this one before we move into the next, which is a warrior two. So a reversed warrior two, sorry. Here we are. Warrior one, warrior two. Having the knee stacked over the ankle is very important. You don't want to be out here or in. Just make sure it's really strong foundation. Like someone could come and sit on this and that'd be totally fine. So a strong engagement through your glute, your hamstring, and arms out wide. This is a very strong stance, very empowering. And you'd want to just be light and easy in the arms, like they're floating. So I'll just run through them and you can watch. This is a high lunge, warrior one, warrior two. And the next pose that we're going to move to is a reverse warrior. So from here, you flip the front palm and you essentially paint a rainbow in the sky. And you can come back, and this opens up a whole range of stretch throughout the entire front of the body. You're going to also be feeling it in your glutes. You'll feel it in your back quad, your front hamstring. So from warrior two, flipping that and just making your way up. And just open up, your side obliques, your left torso into the front of your left chest. And your gaze can make its way upward when you're feeling comfortable and stable. So coming back down to warrior two, flip the front palm and reverse. And the back hand can just sit on the leg here, it can come behind you, whatever works is your personal preference. And that'll develop as time goes on. It's important to not, sometimes when we're going into warrior two, we can let the knee sway in. Yeah, and it's the same as the reverse warrior. We just want to keep that knee stacked above the ankle and nice and strong. So demonstration of the reverse warrior here. Arms can be out, you flip and reverse. And it's a real nice hip opener as well. So when I first started practicing, I was super tight in my hips, and I'm still super tight. So it's a constant work in progress, and I'm loving the journey of opening myself up more and more as I practice. So just go easy on yourself and don't expect to be super open. It might mean your legs out here. It might mean that your legs out here to start, and then you slowly start to bring it more around. Just find what's comfortable for you, and just make sure there's stability in the joints. So there's the reverse warrior. We'll make our way down to the mat, and we're going to go for bow pose, which is quite an intense stretch and pose. So I really urge you, if you've had any knee issues in the past, to just go super slow with this one. And we're going to do a couple of warm-ups first, just before entering the pose. And we won't go to the full extension of the pose, we're just going to test it. So laying down on our bellies, let's do a couple of wide arm cobras, to warm up. And now bow pose. Bring your right and left heel into your bum. You will grab the heels, the back of the feet, or the front of the feet if it's comfortable, and just stay here. See how that feels for you. This is bow pose. And it might be quite intense, but as you begin to open up more in the front body, you get more access to these deeper poses. So we're just going to leave that there for the time being. And then as we begin to extend these flows out, I'll introduce that again once we've done a bit more stretching. So two more left to share. I hope that it's not too much, but don't worry, we'll string it all together in a flow, and I'll rotate through a couple of the poses twice over, so you get a good practice at them as well. Now, the final two, camel pose. Again, if you've got sore knees, try putting a towel or a pillow underneath to give you some relief there. And if it is too intense for you, I would just skip this one. But you want to have your toes tucked like this, and we come up onto our knees. Hands can be at the flat of our back, and we're not dumping into the spine, we're pulling the chest forward and up. So this is first variation. And yeah, remembering to breathe, and these can be tricky to breathe deep and full with. So, and you want to have engagement through your quads and your hips. That's so important. So coming back to neutral, if you can push the quads forward first, you'll notice that the glutes turn on and you feel a stretch in your quads like this. And then it's about expanding the rib cage, the chest, and you'll see that I don't need to have any support here to have a nice healthy curve in the back. And that's camel. That's variation 1. So engagement in the glutes is really important, and it just provides a rock solid foundation for your spine to lengthen. And that comes through lengthening the neck. And then over time, you will be able to come back, and you might be able to do this now. It depends on your flexibility for camel, and engaging through the quads, into the belly, the chest, and then the neck as well. So I don't expect you to be able to go down to that version of camel right now, but that's what we're working towards. So let's just start small and we'll build. Rome wasn't built in a day. Making your way down to your back. And it's important when doing stretches that bend and arch the back, that you counter that as well. So we're just going to do a quick counter pose, which is bringing the knees up to the chest, giving yourself a hug, and just rocking about a little bit. And our final pose for this session is, and we've done it before, it's bridge. So your heels to land close to your bum, your back's flat against the mat, hands plugging into the mat, and then slowly engaging your quads. You'll be engaging your shins as well, your hamstrings. We begin to lift the pelvis up, and you can feel a nice stretch through this front side of the body. Variation 2 on the bridge, which then builds into wheel pose, but it's a bit too intense to be sharing this early. So, but we can try the next variation since you've given this a shot a couple of times. And it's rolling up, finding a strong engagement through the legs, into the front of the chest. And you bring your hands together and clasp your hands together underneath you, and you can just walk your shoulders in. It might give you a little bit more of a stretch through that front body, but also be mindful of the back. We don't want any crunching, any pains in there. So we just want to be feeling this through the front of the body, and just a minor arch. Like there will be sensations in the back, making your way down now. There will be sensations in the back. There's no way around it. It's just about being aware of it. And I hope that the terminology and what I've shared with you is really helpful in your feeling state, so that you can be aware of and feeling what's happening in your body as we move through pose to pose. So there's the demonstrations of the front body stretches for now. I think that's a good amount, and with all of the chapters there are more advanced poses, but this is the fundamentals and the basics, which once we get that down tight we can move into the more advanced stuff. So that was a pleasure to share with you, and I'm excited to share the next mini flow with you. Let's get it.